So I'm out here at my parents' house, and today I'm gonna be turning their home into a smart home, and we're starting from scratch. Let's go. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Shane, and this channel is all about building an easy Apple home, smart home with new videos and live streams published every week. We try to focus on keeping things easy and simple, and what better way to do that than by setting up a smart home for my parents. They finally wanted to get some smart home tech in their house, so I had to jump on that opportunity, and we're gonna set them up today. All right, so I've got a box full of smart home stuff that we're gonna install here. Let me tell you a little bit how this came about. So not too long ago, I actually set up some smart home stuff for my grandpa. I guess it was about a year ago. And he's in his 80s, and we did this really to, improve some things with his life, make things a little bit easier for him, but also for some safety aspects. So there's some really good things that we did at his house. I'll put a link to that video in the description if you want to check that out. Long story short, what happened is one of the water sensors that I put in his house detected a leak at one point, and it went off. My mom found out about this, and she thought it was just the coolest thing in the world that he got notifications that he had a water leak at his house. So that really paid off. Now, big thanks and shout out to Aqara for sponsoring today's video. Aqara is actually the brand that makes the water sensors and a lot of the other stuff that I installed over at my grandpa's house. So I got a box full of things that they sent so we can install today at my parents' house. Today, I'm gonna walk you through the process, and I'm gonna show you everything that I'm gonna do, how I'm setting this up for my parents specifically. So this is where I would start if I was building a new smart home today. The first thing I'm going to set up, sorry about the audio in here, very echoey. But the first thing I'm gonna set up is gonna be this. This is the Aqara M2 hub. So most of the Aqara products, they connect over Zigbee to a hub. So you will need a Zigbee Aqara hub. They have numerous ones. They have a number of cameras that can also act as hubs. They have the M1S hub. The reason I chose the M2 hub for today's installation is that I can plug this directly into the router. So this one supports Ethernet, so I can plug this directly into my parents' Wi-Fi or their network router. And that way it's just kind of one less thing that could go wrong. You don't have to worry about Wi-Fi connection or somebody unplugging the hub or something like that, which is actually something that happened at my grandfather's house. I used the M1S hub over there, which is a great product. I love that as well. But this will be kind of nice just to kind of tuck it out of sight, out of mind, plug it directly into the router, and then I'll be able to pair all the different Aqara child devices to this over Zigbee, and it should work great. I want to explain what I learned after setting up my grandpa's house that I would do differently, that I am doing differently here. So at his house, I kind of created everything under his accounts and on his phone. Here, what I'm doing is setting everything up on my phone. In the Aqara app, you can create multiple homes. In the Apple Home app, you can create multiple homes as well. So I just created a new home in the Apple Home app and in the Aqara app. And I'm just setting everything up in a new home here. And what I can do then is download those apps if they don't have them already on their phones, like the Aqara app. And then I can just share access to my parents, and then they'll have all the accessories and everything that they can control right there on their phone. They can use Siri and stuff like that. You can kind of do the same thing with the Apple Home app. But that way I have kind of full control and access for troubleshooting if I ever need to, even remotely, which can be nice. And it's also good sometimes, like in the case of my grandfather, if I want to kind of restrict access to certain accessories, like maybe you want them to be able to control the accessories, turn lights on and off, but not delete them from the home or something like that. So doing it this way is kind of beneficial in that sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding devices. I've got some water sensors. I'm gonna go ahead and start pairing. They're super easy to set up. I'm gonna put one in the attic here near the hot water heater. And then what I'm gonna do out here actually is I'm going to install a Aqara doorbell camera. So they have this kind of large driveway area right here, and this is the primary entry that they use in their house. My mom said she would really love, you know, some sort of camera or doorbell out here instead of actually their main door, which they never really use. So the Aqara doorbell is a great solution for that. I'm gonna be able to put it right here. It's battery operated. It can be wired, but it can also be battery operated. So I'm gonna do battery operated right here. Don't have to run any wires or anything, and it'll give them a great landscape view of this whole area right here behind you. That'll be great. And then people can also use the doorbell and they'll get notifications on their phone and all kinds of stuff like that. That doorbell can also chime HomePod minis, which we'll set up inside. Let me show you real quick how easy it is to set up these little child accessories. Again, these smart water sensors is what my mom was really interested in. So let me go ahead and show you, since I now have the Aqara M2 hub all set up. We can start adding these little Zigbee accessories super quick and easily. I'm gonna take it out of the box. We are going to open up the Aqara app. Let me get up here so you can see this. All right, so you can look for your sensor and we'll choose the water leak sensor. Choose which hub you want to use. We only have one hub set up, so we'll choose that one. Then you just push and hold the button here. Use my good hand. And there's actually a light on here. It's hard to see because the daylight. That should start flashing blue. There we go. And just like that, our water leak sensor is all set up. I can rename it. I'll call this one attic, and I'll go ahead and put this one in the attic. These little smart plugs right here are great for people if you're just starting off. I did the Christmas tree. I'm gonna do this fan in here. So finding little things that you can do to make smart that will make your life easier, or your parents or whoever's life easier. You know, if you get up out of bed a lot to turn the fan on or off, perfect place to use a smart plug. So I'm gonna connect this to the smart plug, and then they can just turn the fan on or off through voice with Siri, through their phone, whatever, without having to get out of bed. All right, so now that I got the Christmas tree set up with a smart plug and the light strip behind the TV, I programmed them both with an Aqara mini switch. So I'm a huge fan of using manual control buttons or switches whenever you can. That way, you know, just makes things easy on the family and whoever might be trying to control your house. A single press will turn the light strip back there on and off. A double press will turn the Christmas tree on and off like that. And then a long press will turn everything off. All right, so I'm sitting here with my father and I have finished setting up his smart home for today. Anyways, 1.0, we put some Aqara stuff pretty much everywhere. You guys saw, we did the Christmas tree, the light strip, the doorbell camera for the driveway garage area, which is really cool. Water sensors everywhere. I gave him a quick rundown in the home app. So we've connected everything to Apple Home, and he can now use Siri with the new HomePod or his phone. And I'm triggering all the devices right now, I think, as we speak. I also configured a little button, which you saw. We have a hidden button over here that can control some of the accessories. So a lot of different ways to control the smart home, but we kept it very simple. Everything is connected and working really well thanks to the Zigbee connection of all of those Aqara devices throughout the house. So great starting place for a smart home. What do you think you will use the most out of everything we set up today?
Well, probably what I use the most is turning the lights on and off. And you know, I like to use Siri. I think your mom will like to or prefer to use the button, but we'll see. But I like the the fact that you get the security from being able to see from the, you know, the garage when somebody's coming up and or somebody wants to access us through the garage.
Now you actually have a doorbell.
Right.
Not only a camera, but a doorbell. And if somebody rings that, I don't know if you heard that, if somebody rings the doorbell out there, it will chime the HomePod Mini, which is really cool. And of course, just notifications on your phone all the time. So you now have a very connected home.
I also like the water sensors. So it just sense of security you get that, and because water damage is something that everybody has to deal with sooner or later in a house.
And that was actually, that's why Mom called me.
That's the main reason why we started in the first place. Yeah,
she
that
called
kind
me.
of got us thinking about
how can we do that? And it's a great feature to be able to have those little water sensors everywhere, and they're super affordable. So I will put links to all that stuff down in the description if you want to check them out. And if I have a discount code, I'll put that down in the description.
Looking forward to phase 2, where we get into some of the switches.
All right, I think he's got the bug. So more to follow. Y'all be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.